Thanks a lot, my brother. This means a lot, especially with myself just taking over as the head coach. And I came at a time where we were in the semifinals. Yes, I was part of the games leading up to the semifinals. But now I was tasked with the responsibility at this time and knowing that we are not in a good log standing. So we had to find a balance between the Nedbank Cup and the league. I think we've done pretty well. Evidently so that we've booked ourselves a place in the final. This game that we've just played now, it was never going to be an easy game according to us for many reasons, and it was evident when we played this game. So we dedicate this to the boys, people of the Eastern Cape, and to our club chairman. Thank you so
much, Fatu. Appreciate it. Good afternoon, Coach. Congratulations on the victory. I saw the approach from Pretoria Callies was a bit defensive in the first half. Did that frustrate you a bit? And also, going into the first half, goalless was the talks to say, okay, let's try another plan because these guys are a bit ultra defensive or with a bit of a low block. What was your talks in the first half, seeing that you're playing against a very defensive side and a bit of a surprise because they were playing at home? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Karabo. Yes, you are quite correct that they were playing a low block. But our strategy was to say, okay, let's keep the ball more. Though we were playing in our own half for the better part of the first half, but once we're keeping possession, meaning we are trying to drain energy from them. So the longer we keep the ball from them, the better chances of us catching them in the second half. Yes, it was always going to be a case of us going all out in the second half, trying to break those lines and try to catch them in white spaces where they might be overlapping, of which we saw in the second half. It was much better. We were playing in their half for the better part of the second half. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Coach. I'll move on to Rob.
Coach, Rob Delport in Cape Town. Congratulations. Coach, not bad way to pick up your first win as a coach, to reach a final. Just how much do you think that this can help the momentum of the club now going forward?
Yeah, it's a huge confidence booster, especially with us playing Baroka on Tuesday. Yeah, it's not one of the pleasant performances that one would expect going to this Tuesday game. But, cup football is different from that of the league in terms of the approach and the expectations as well. So it's a huge confidence booster going to Tuesday's games and other games that are remaining in the league. Thank you, Rob.
Okay, Max Stradom.
Coach, congrats on reaching the final. Just your second match. A bit on Callies, because I think they gave you a very tough match given they're the lower league team and possibly even edged the chances. What was your sort of strategy given you they were kind of putting you a little, not to the sword, but they may maybe opening you up a bit now and then, but you managed to take that chance. And yeah, just a bit about them. I think they deserve some credit for a performance given they're the first division team.
Yeah, it was always going to be a case of who scores first. I think Callies is a good team, I can tell you now, let alone that they are playing in the Great Africa. You can see their tactical plan. They was well executed, and it frustrated us, in some bit of moments in the first half. But we said second half, okay, we've seen enough now. This is the strategy that we must take, in order to overcome. So once we push them to play inside their box, we can see now we're expecting to play off the second balls. So yeah, they're quite a good team. They gave us a tough time, but yeah, they can only be one winner in the cup. And fortunately, we did it. Thank you, Mark.
Okay, Karabo, once more.
Oh, thank you once again, Father. Coach, I might be wrong, but it looks like you are a bit too emotional in this press conference. But is it because that you won? And well, obviously it should be. But can you just describe for us, Coach, what does this mean for you personally? Can you just describe the emotions that you're feeling after such a historic victory? I think Fatu did allude to the fact that it's a very historic one for you, the first time the club has been in a cup final. Just explain the emotions that you're feeling at this moment in time, please, Coach. Thank you.
I think it's the excitement when Karabo, because we've got many ways of showing how we can be excited. Yeah, I think it's a good entry for me. You know, it's the second game now in the PSL as the head coach. You know, it's always somebody's ambition. So I think I've managed so far, and the plan is to go all the way. Yeah, who knows? Maybe we might lift the cup, but now we turn our focus to the league matches. Otherwise, I'm so excited. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, last question for the coach, Rob.
Thanks, Fatu. Coach, just a word also about getting Mr. Manyisa on the field for the first time, and also just finishing the game with those guys, because obviously their experience brought in a lot at that point.
Yeah, we needed guys to come in with experience to manage the game. Guys like Manyisa, you know, because we were looking there in the center. We were put a bit loose, so we said he must go and lock there in the center and manage the game. We're not even expecting him to go forward. His duty was just to receive the ball and look for options, and then it protects our center backs. Same as Anthony. If you've looked, we've played him left back when he came, your left winger when he came in. We switched him to the right and then went up front. And the idea was always to say, when you receive the ball, hold up, you know, the seconds that you'll spend on the ball will help us. Evidently, so it happened. We became victorious. So they played a huge role, you know, for us to finish strong in the second half.
Coach, if we can just start by getting a summary of the 90 minutes.
You know, the game went as we expected. We knew it's gonna be a very, very tight match. We knew only small margins are gonna determine the match, you know. But I think the boys gave a good account of themselves. It's just that, you know, when you don't score, you can't win games, and that is what we need to work on. So I believe Chippa got one opportunity that they used. It was even a half chance. They used it, and then we got more, but we didn't use. So yeah, I think they capitalize on that, and good luck to Chippa in the final.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Take a question from Karabo.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Coach. Unlucky on the result. Coach, in the first half, I think what I saw is that, you know, you were a bit too defensive. Was the idea to try to frustrate them as much as you can, see what happens in the second half, snatch a late goal if possible, or take them to the penalty spot kicks, because your goalkeeper has been one of the mainstays in terms of, you know, saving you guys in penalties. Was that the idea, to frustrate them, be defensive, win the game on the counter if possible, if not take him to penalties? Thank you.
Yeah, no, we wanted to frustrate them, but by keeping the ball, you know, it's just that, you know, sometimes the boys were a little bit nervous, and also we didn't want to make mistakes, so that's why we kept a low block and tried to catch them on a counter, which we did. I think with a little bit of luck, we could have scored maybe 2 or 3 from those breaks. But I was expecting a toe-to-toe match, you know, because I don't like this thing of coming to sit back and try counter. I wanted a toe-to-toe, like I said.
Okay, let's move on to Rob.
Coach, Rob Delport in Cape Town, unlucky out there. Coach, Pretoria Callies, I think 8 months ago, were playing in the ABC Motsepe League. Does this tell you how much the club has progressed in that time? And also just, I mean, you obviously, that's the first match against a top flight side for the team as well.
Yeah, definitely. It shows that the team has grown in leaps and bounds. You know, credit must also go to Coach Semi. Semitroton, who took the team from the Glad Africa, from the ABC Motsepe League to Glad Africa, and I think they also had some good results in this league. So, the team has grown, and we're trying by all means to take them to the other level, which I believe, with a little bit of time, it will happen.
Mark Stradom.
Hi, Coach. Tough luck. Like you say, you were creating those chances, and I think actually creating more than they were. Just that little bit of inexperience. When you can't take those chances, I guess the PSL team was always going to maybe capitalize and pounce when they got their chance. Was it just that bit of an experience you think in front of goal for your team? And a second question, just on, do you think they were a bit lucky to stay? It could have been almost decisive when they didn't lose Watenga when he came out of his area and fouled Matlangu there. They might have lost a play there. Could have been just changed the game a bit. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, no, I think it could have. I mean, it could have changed the complexion of the match. I think they could, if they lost their keeper, they could have gone back into defensive mode. And even though towards the end they were in a defensive mode and trying to catch us on a counter, but I think yes, a bit of experience also cost us. But at the same time, I think it's nervousness, that also caused us to lose some chances, because Tabiso, William, they're experienced players, they've been in the highest level. So I think it's more about nervousness, or maybe trying too hard, to make the headlines. That cost us, because to be honest, I think one or two should have gone in. But, like I said, it's work in progress. They were playing a different way to what we're doing now. Maybe they're still struggling to know where to make runs to. And also with the limited time that we have of training, I believe with more time, then they will start to understand that this is where we go, this is how we make runs and the like, But we need to be brave. We need to be brave, and I believe they've learned from this, because that was the only a clear chance that Chippa had, and they punished. So it's maybe we have learned that it's not about the amount of ball possession, it's not amount of the chances that we create, it's about putting the ball in the net. And hopefully this is the experience that we got here will help us to get results in the league.
Okay, Karabo, once more.
Thank you once again, Fatu. Coach, going forward in the NFD, or Glad Africa rather, you guys are currently 11 points from the top. Is that now the whole idea, to try and dislodge or be part of the promotional squad? And I mean, looking at the history of Pretoria Callies, it's one of the most historic clubs in the country. Jan Malombori Chaba was there, Masterpieces Morip was there, 2020 Matis, Anka was also part of the club. Is that the history that will propel you to try and be in the DSTV Premiership for next season? Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks, Karabo. I feel that, we need to honor the Pretoria Callies legends, and the only way to honor them is by taking the club to the highest level. We left with 8 games. Yes, it looks impossible, but anything in football is possible. We're gonna try hard to try and win every match. We're gonna play to win in each and every match. The mandate for me is survival. We must just retain the status. But dreaming, I do have dreams, and I dream, to be honest. So it also reminded me of my time at Black Leopards. When I took over with 15 games to go, the team was in position 13, but we finished number 2. So, having gone through that, having gone past that, it will never stop me from feeling that if we do well, then we can still, be the spoilers and maybe end up in the top 3 position.